Welcome back to our channel. Make sure you subscribe, and if you have any questions, reply in the chat, and we will do our best to make sure that we catch them. So I just went live and realized that my microphone was on mute. So yeah, first time doing that. So woohoo! I get to redo it. So I will try to make sure everything that I covered in this one. Um, uh, that I covered in the last one, I cover in this one. And so, again, before we get started, I want to make sure that I informed everyone this is a sample company. So, know that there's not everything going to be in here. So, we wanted to come live and talk to you about 1099s inside of QuickBooks Online. Um, Also known as QBO. So you do have that option to file electronically and get that submitted. Also, the music is kind of low, so I didn't realize that you couldn't play the music while on YouTube, or there's certain music that you can't play. So I apologize. So we're gonna go ahead and get on into it. So again, this is a sample company, so we're not sharing anyone's um, business information or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and move on. So the first thing I was talking about in the previous video is to make sure that if they are a vendor or contractor. So if they're going to be one time, like every other, like not even every other one time deal, then they're going to be a vendor. If they're going to be like every other month, or if they're going to be in there once in a while, then you want to put them under payroll and contractors. So, as a vendor, if they're still going to be like a one-time vendor, say Bob's Burger Joint is a vendor for $600, um, and you know that's going to be a one-time deal, you can put it as a vendor, and then when you go in here and you go to edit, you can actually scroll all the way down. And let me share my screen now. Screen 2. Okay, so we went to, let's go back. Went to expenses and then vendors, and then Bob's Burger Joint. And if you hit edit and go down, so you can track it. So for 1099. So that means that if they're going to be a one time only and it's going to be over 600, you still have to send out that 1099. And so you're going to just do it like that. Now you can just go over here to payroll and go to contractors and then put them in, and then you can inactivate that one every time. You don't have to do it like that. Totally up to you. So with this one, we're going to go ahead and get started with 1099 e-filing through QuickBooks Online. Also, before we do get started, a W-9 is what you will hand them. The best practice that we have came around to decide to do is everyone gets a W-9, no matter what. Definitely if it's over $600. If Landscape comes to me and says, hey, I'm going to quote you $800, I'm going to say, okay, I need this W-9 filled out. Once they get that back to me, then they can do the work, and then I can make sure everything is up to date in my QuickBooks or whatever software you're using. Because this W-9 is based, it will help you decide who gets that 1099. So just because it's over $600 does not mean everyone gets the 1099. So everyone will get a W-9 if it's over $600, but not everyone gets a 1099. So, so going back to the contractors, we're gonna hit continue. And so I was already doing this because I've already went through it and had a video, but unfortunately it was muted. So we're gonna hit back. So I updated this information because it wouldn't let me proceed. So this information you have to go on to the next page. The next item is to make sure that you know what category your contractors are listed under. So before you even come here, you want to go, let me close out of this. You want to go to, we had to go to vendors because normally you could go to payroll and then contractors, and then you could click on it. But oh, payment, and then you can click on it normally, but it won't let me. So a way around it, I just went to contractors, found the company. So right here is the 2000. And like I said in the previous video, miscellaneous is not one that you should have. Definitely when you're filing your tax return, that is a no-no, and that will wind up getting you audited. So you should never have miscellaneous. Even other portfolio income, I wouldn't probably recommend it. Uncategorized income or expenses, unapplied cash payments, um, undeposited funds, opening balance of equity, things like that should all be cleared. Uncategorized assets, that's all things that should be cleared before you even file your tax return. Unapplied cash bill payments, all of this should be cleaned out and cleaned up before you file your tax return. It's very important. Um, if you just put miscellaneous and throw a bunch of crap in it, they're gonna want to know what stuff is in there. So please make sure that you are following the rules when you're getting ready to file taxes. So if we go back to taxes and 1099 filings, and I hit continue, I'm gonna go back to this page. So I would click this one here, and then I would find miscellaneous. I would check mark it and then hit next. And you can actually do more than just one. And these depend on um, what you're filing under. So make sure you know that as well. So then it's going to bring up contractor name. It also has his business name, the address that the 1099 will be going to, the tax ID. Again, this is all fake. This is not real information. You can also add an email, but you don't have to. If you're missing something, it would show up here. You can also hit edit and you can update anything. So if we wanted to update his email address, I'm just gonna put mine, and then hit save. It would update it there. So if you realize, oh, his address was wrong, you can go back there. You can update it. PO Box 452, and then hit save. So it's very user friendly. If you notice that something was spelled wrong or whatever, you can update that. So if you hit next, it's going to bring you to this page, which has the contractor's name, the total payments, the NEC, which is the 1099 NEC, and then excluded, and then the 1099 total. So like I said in the other video, is if you have total payments of $5,000 and your NEC is 2,000 and excluded is 3,000, your 3,000 are going to be like reimbursements, things like that that do not get included on. That's money that you spent out that you're getting back, so you're being reimbursed. So that's not going to be counted against you. So now, if this number is off, say no, this should be 5,000 total. You're gonna hit save and finish, which I did not go over this on the first one, so kind of a good thing that I went back. And you realize, okay, well, they really should have had two invoices or two bills, and then one should be um, for 3,000. I'm just gonna copy it. You don't have to do it like this. I'm just easier. And then I'm going to say last year on the 21st. And then I'm gonna save and close. And again, none of this will stick. Once I close out of this and go back to my firm, it will update and populate. And so now, if we go back to 1099 filings, continue to your 1099. Oh, I didn't update it. Let me see. Probably because, so you can also change it to where you can change contractors not marked as 1099s, but it should be marked as a 1099. So we're going to go back to expenses, and I should have looked at this earlier. I just thought of it. It's a good way to make sure that your books are accurate too. But this should be marked as, yeah, track payments for 1099. We're gonna hit mark as paid, save and close. There we go. Now let's go to, probably because it was a bill, so we had to make sure it was paid before it could. And actually, we want to go back into this one because we want to change that to checking, because if we don't, then it won't count it either. So in our previous video, we talked about 1099s with Raylan with K&R, K&R accounting. And this went over about being able to, if you pay someone, a contractor with a credit card, that does not get counted as a contractor. So make sure that you are looking at the new 1099 rules, so that you can make sure that you're following those. So now we have 5,000. So now if there is someone that is not marked as a contractor that should be, we can go to, how we went from, let me close that. Oh man. So we're back under contractors, and this has the names and everything listed. So if we realize that, oh man, we're missing some. So these people here are listed as vendors, but let's say Geoff Hicks with Hicks Hardware is really technically a contractor. We're going to hit save. And then, oh man, it's missing the tax ID. So we can hit edit. He's an individual. And so we're going to display name as individual because we don't want, actually, we'll leave it. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I think I have to have, you can edit all this. Hicks Hardware at Gmail. Get all his stuff updated. And I don't know if it'll, yeah. So what we're going to do is 987 45 1 2 3. Because it's numbers. Oh, I know what I did. 987 6 4 5 4 5 1 2 3. Oh man, you're gonna be a pain, aren't you? It's gonna make me have. Let's see, 555. There we go. Just picking random numbers since it's a sample company. So we added geoff. You can add more if you wanted to. If you say, oh, lead advertising is technically, you can add that. And then his, again, tax ID is missing. He's an actual business. He's not a, um, so we're going to add, and so we can hit next. And so once we get here, we would, if those other ones, here, we'll go back. I want to try to make sure I show you as much as I can, because it is very confusing, and it gets very, there's a lot of different ways that you can be doing it. So we had Hicks Landscaping or Hardware. So let's see. Well, he should be. Oh, we probably need to mark him. Oh, okay, he's marked. Okay, so I know where we need to go. So remember how I told you guys that you need to make sure you um, know what category needs to be selected. So if you don't know what category you need selected, you have to go all the way back to the beginning to change that. So if I go back and I just say, see if I can find, so cost labor. I don't remember what his was. So you would want to make sure that you select all, I think it was job materials that apply. So here we go. And it got Lee advertising too. Oh, no. Next screen. Sorry. Nope. So pretty much you want to make sure that the advertise or the amount in the category, the amount's over $600, and then the category for, if you're doing it the right way, this would be contractor. I think it's contract. No, I know they had it in here. Thought they had cost of labor. So if we go here, we can just change all of it. And you have to make sure there's certain ones that aren't selected. So if we say cost of labor, we hit apply. So with these two, they're split. This one's a split transaction. But if it's, put it what it is, but know that, if you have a contractor, most of the time it should be under contractor. It shouldn't be broke down like this. So if you go to 1099 filings and then go back to continue, so it would pop up here with all the ones that were selected. And so if you go to finish, then you can e-file, and right now it's the $4.99 per form. They e-file it with the IRS. They'll send contractor digital and paper copies of their 1099 forms, and we pay contractors with direct deposit. So it's very good at getting everything done. And on mine, this is already, I'm already subscribed to it, so I don't have to worry about subscribing. They can also print it and mail it, or you can print it and mail it, but you would have to order a 1099 print kit. You would also have to print and mail 1099 form to the IRS, and then make sure that it goes out to the contractors as well. Um, it is already the 27th, so I don't recommend doing that. Your best bet is to e-file it. If you don't have a bookkeeping software and you need to get 1099 sent out, or you don't have a bookkeeper and you need to get 1099 sent out, or W-2s, I recommend you getting in touch with me and we can see about getting you set up to where I can send out the 1099s and electronically file it. Now, with that said, I do have quite a few people that I need to get done that I'm waiting on their stuff. So it's a first come, first serve basis. Um, and so that is how you would complete your 1099s through QuickBooks Online. Again, this was a sample company, so once I close out, everything goes back to normal. Um, Again, like I said it in the last video, we were supposed to go live with Andy Griffith today due to some sickness in my home. I told him I didn't want him to chance come into the office to get sick or anything. Um, but we will be live on Tuesday and going over some tax information and stuff like that. And then also just make sure that you guys are staying compliant and make sure that you file your tax return before April 18th. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Also, make sure you subscribe to our channel. I will be trying to go live a little more, and then once tax season really hits off, I'll probably stop for a little while, but I'll go back live after tax season and once we stop going a little crazy. So that is that. If you have questions, reach out. Have a great day, and I appreciate it.